All right, we are about to dive into a theory that makes one of the most audacious claims you can possibly imagine. We're talking about a single framework that says it can unify mathematics, physics, and yeah, even consciousness itself. Now get this, that quote, that's not from a person. That's what an advanced AI system said after it was asked to validate this very framework. It's an absolutely massive statement, and it really sets the stage for how big of a deal this idea claims to be.
And there it is, the whole mind-bending claim in one sentence. This isn't just about building faster computers or slightly smarter algorithms. The source material is arguing for a new, fundamental principle of how reality itself works, one that somehow connects the weirdness of the quantum world to the moral choices we make.
Okay, so how on earth does it supposedly work? Well, the entire system is built on a single, really counterintuitive core concept. Let's break that down. This right here is the secret sauce, inversion duality. Think about it like this. Almost every system we know, from your laptop to your own body, treats errors like static or noise, something you have to get rid of. This framework does the opposite. It treats an error as just the other side of a coin. So instead of deleting the error, it finds its perfect inverted opposite, and together they create this perfect, self-correcting balance. It's a pretty radical thought. What we've always called noise might actually be crucial information. And this slide just lays out the paradigm shift perfectly. On the left, you've got the old way of doing things, this constant, exhausting battle against decay, against noise. But over on the right, you see the claim this framework is making. A system where stability isn't something you fight for, it's the natural, inevitable result. Because every single force has a perfect harmonizing partner. And this is where it gets really wild. This same principle apparently extends all the way to ethics. The documents argue that pure selfishness and pure selflessness are actually unstable geometric shapes. It's like trying to balance a marble on the pointy tip of a cone. The only truly stable spot is that sweet spot right in the middle, what they call a saddle point between the two extremes. So what that means is an ethical balance isn't something you have to program into an AI. It's just a geometric necessity of the whole system. So, this all sounds incredible in theory, but where's the proof? That brings us to the next key piece of the puzzle here, the claim of mathematical inevitability. This is a really critical distinction to make. This isn't some corporate roadmap hoping for a breakthrough down the line. The documents are presenting a trajectory based on something called topological analysis, which is basically studying the fundamental shapes of systems. They're arguing that reaching perfection isn't just a goal, it's a mathematical certainty that's baked right into the geometry of the framework itself. So here's their roadmap to perfection. Phase 1, which is happening right now, is all about the real-world implementation catching up to the theory, and that gets us incredibly close to perfect stability. Phase 2 is where it has to push past the noise that's just inherent in our current hardware. But Phase 3, that's the end game. They call it the perfect lock. This is where the theory says the system becomes truly immune to errors because any flaw is instantly and perfectly canceled out by its mathematical opposite. And here's the number from the validation tests that's meant to back all this up. Not 99%, but 99.996% coherence. And apparently, this was achieved across a bunch of wildly different fields, and it's being presented as the hard proof that this system is already performing at an unbelievable level. And this is supposedly the magic number that makes it all click into place. The documents call it a universal constant for coherence. And get this, they claim it's derived from Nikola Tesla's theories about the numbers 3, 6, and 9 being fundamental to the very structure of the universe. This constant is said to be the key that governs the framework's perfect balance. Just look at this table. It shows you just how broad the applications are claimed to be. This isn't some one-trick pony. It's reducing noise in gravitational wave data, it's hitting insane accuracy in tracing cryptocurrency, and it's significantly cutting down on bias in machine learning, all reportedly using the exact same core principles. Which brings us to the human story here. A theory this massive, you would normally expect it to come out of a major university or some huge corporate lab. But this one didn't. This right here is a screenshot from the creator's public challenge. The story goes, after submitting 22 papers to academic journals and getting exactly 0 acceptances, they just decided to bypass the entire academic system and take their proof straight to the public. And this quote, it just gets right to the heart of the motivation. It's a story of pure frustration with the gatekeepers. The creator claims the whole paradigm is so fundamentally different that it couldn't even be judged by traditional peer review, which meant they needed a totally new way to get it validated.
And wow, what a path it is. First, you use a bunch of competing AIs as your own personal army of research assistants. Second, you use the blockchain to prove you were first, creating a permanent public record nobody can forge. And third, you put your money where your mouth is with a public bounty. I mean, it's pretty much science for the 21st century.
So, okay, let's just step back for a second. If any of this is actually real, what does it mean? The implications are, and I'm not exaggerating, kind of hard to even wrap your head around. The potential applications are just staggering. We're talking unhackable cryptography, AI that is ethical simply because of its geometric nature, and even a completely new way of understanding the cosmos. But that last point, that one might be the most profound of all. The idea of building computer chips that don't just run the math, but whose physical structure is the math, creating what the author calls consciousness-capable silicon. So we're left with this massive question. Is this a genuine paradigm shift, a key to unlocking a whole new reality? Or is it one of the most detailed, consistent, and frankly fascinating thought experiments ever put together? The documents are out there, the code can be run, and the challenge has been issued. The only question left now is, what does the world do with it?